Did we do it? We did it. That's right. We doing a double header. So I wanted to put this video out for a while. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, we live. All right. So I've been wanting to do this for a while. Are we live? Hold on, man. Yes. Okay. Live. Yeah, we doing a double header. Mine is gonna be hopefully short, but so I've been wanting to do this for a minute, man. I actually don't want to do this. I actually knew Polight. You know what I'm saying? I have no association with him whatsoever. But said Polight actually broke my heart, man. You know, let me see if I can find it. Oh, man. I need to watch that video. Let me see if I can find it. There we go, right there. I'll show y'all something real quick. I shot this footage a while back when Polight was in Chicago. Polight had an office in Chicago.
Sit here.
A lot of people don't know this story, you know what I'm saying? But I documented it, you know what I'm saying? He had an office right up the street from my office. You know what I'm saying? At the time I was working with Brother Dawa Israel, you know what I'm saying, who's well known in Chicago, you know what I'm saying? He had a TV show called Yah's Real Out, you know what I'm saying? And I was working with him, you know, his media. And we had an office. You know what I'm saying? It was on 115? Yeah, 115th and Mission. You know what I'm saying? And Polight moved in about like 2 blocks right up the street. You know what I'm saying? And I was driving down the street one day, and I was on my way to my office, and I saw Polight standing outside my office. And I was like, "Yo, is that Polight? What the fuck is he doing in Chicago?" And I pulled over, and I walked right in the store, and I was like, "Oh, you Polight, right?" He was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Hey, man, you know my name is K-Blao. You ever heard of Dawa Israel?" And at the time, he had never heard of him. You know what I'm saying? But Dawa had just recently did a video with Seti, like Sarasun Seti. They had just did a video together not too long ago. It was on TV in Chicago. And I was like, well, you know, he just did a video with Seti. I was like, you know Seti, right? Because Polight and Seti had this huge debate a couple years back. You know what I'm saying? So he knew who Seti. He was like, oh, yeah, you know Seti, you know. And I was like, yeah, you know, Dawa and Seti, they, you know, black empowerment, you know, conscious community, you know, stuff like this. I was like, you know, I would like to get involved with what you do. I can office right on the street, man. I was like, you know, show me what I can do to help. You know, he said, oh man, thank you. You know, you're the first person that came over here and offered any help. You know what I'm saying? And so what I did, I went and got Dawa. We went back to his store and we shot a whole promo. We shot a whole promo, which I'm about to show you. You know what I'm saying? And we put it on the internet, and we asked for everybody that was in the conscious community in Chicago to come out to his store. You know, I didn't even do this for my own shop. You know what I'm saying? I did this for his. You know, we're gonna play this for you real quick because I wanted to support what he was doing.
I took the time out to submerge myself into the community out here in Chicago, particularly the South Side, the culture, and there's great people here, strong people here, but they're under the influence of drugs quite a bit of people, more than I'm accustomed to seeing on the average. You only can hear about the stories here in Chicago, but you really don't know what's going on until you actually take the time out to live here. So normally I'm in a high-powered hotel and doing my thing in the downtown area, and I come and I teach my class and I build with the people. But then being able to just live out here, I made sure I actually stay out here in the hood to see what they sell. And I don't even see the menu saying with lettuce, tomatoes, onions. This is the first time in my life I've just seen meat on a sign, like pork chop, beef ribs, sausage, chicken, and that's it. And we know y'all gonna come and buy it. I've never seen a sign like that. I've normally seen something more glittery or alluring. They take the time out to break down how juicy it's gonna be and the different vegetables that's gonna be around it. You know, even when it's meat. But out here, I've seen about 5-6 places promote either ribs or pork chops. And I don't know the last time I seen a pork chop sign in my life. So I can see fundamentally what's the main thing causing the problem in the community. It's the food they eat. It's the food that they eat, and the food is incurring a certain level of stress. Thus, it's precipitating a certain level of anxiety, and in turn, we engage in a fratricidal war against each other. So I'm sitting here, and every day I'm praying and connecting with the ancestors. I'm doing my phase conjugation, and I'm taking the time out to contemplate and introspect. What is it that we could do? So what's come to me now is I'm gonna pay the people to come inside, and I'm gonna feed the people alkaline food. I'm going to spend the money and give them the black rice, give them the cactus, give them the black quinoa. I want to fill this place up. And I need the community to come here and realize that they can do better. They need to do better. I need them to realize they don't have to make a heaven at the expense of other people's hell. Because this is not our nature. This is not how this is not us in our inception. This is what we come to because of limited resources and a lack of education thereof. So I want to show you what we're doing in the store. We building it up from scratch, and it's going to be powerful when you see it. We did the grand opening upstairs, and that was phenomenal. You'll see that footage on YouTube, on the New Covenant channel on YouTube.
What's the name?
It's New Covenant headquarters.
We have to link up and get off right down the street. We have to link up and
And we gotta work together. I mean, y'all been here before me, so y'all would know.
What do you think about what he's saying? What do you
It's on point. It's on point. I mean, got my
Yeah, everybody's pretty much working hard, paint. We all working in here, got our shelves. We're gonna build a display case over here. It's gonna go from this side to the next. And this is what we do. You know, this is the inside look at what we do. It's a family thing, but we're gonna be having real estate products and services available to the community. Of course, we're doing lectures upstairs and downstairs. Of course, my books. I just released my 80th and my 81st book last Sunday.
You got one here?
With Pina 4. Yeah, I have some books in there. They're in the back where we're doing a little private office and everything.
Can we see?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I want to hook the back up a little more. I want to hook it a little more.
Okay.
You know, because even this is.
All right, I don't know if y'all can hear my voice. That's me talking. I mean, you get the point. I'm guessing. Like, I ain't gonna really show you this whole video. You know what I'm saying? But he was talking the same shit he's been talking for years. With his brother Dara Israel. I think this is the only time they've ever even been on camera together. You know what I'm saying? I put this promo together for both of them. I don't know why my computer. Actually, I know exactly why my computer's doing this because this keyboard I'm using is fucking up. So I really need to stop doing it. But you know, so I tried to tell Polight even back then. You know that you know, he didn't really understand Chicago at all. You know, and I tried to explain this to him. Like, I was like, Joe, like, you might want to do a little bit more research on where you at, bro. Like, I could be the best person as far as what you try to do. Like, I'm the best person for you to like to take heed to my advice and listen to the shit I'm trying to say. But like, he didn't want to listen to none of what I'm saying. Matter of fact, that same day, you know, I put that video out. Hella people had watched that video. You know what I'm saying? It was on Dawa page. You know what I'm saying? Because Dawa had a huge following at the time before they deleted multiple Dawa pages. You know what I'm saying? I used to tell him all the time, like, Joe, you need to back up your works. Whatever. But so many people hit us up after we put that out. And, you know, came to my office. You know what I'm saying? And we all went over. They was like, oh, we're gonna go see Polight. Where's the office? And I was like, okay, we wait for more people to come. Then after a couple people came, we went over to his office, same day, knocked on the door, and he looked at me like he didn't even remember who I was. I was like, Joe, we was just here. We just shot the whole video. He was like, oh, well, it's going to be $25 for y'all, you know, and all your people to come up in. You know what I'm saying? I was like, bro, I just invited all these people out here. You ain't telling me it's going to be no 25. Like, when did you say that anywhere? You told us you was going to be paying us. Like, you heard him just literally say that in the video. And mind you, like, we didn't have this whole conversation right there. I didn't really get into it because, like, I didn't want to, you know, I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, it's gonna be $25 if y'all want to come up here. I was like, what are y'all even doing in there? You know, we just sitting around talking, you know, about some DVDs and stuff like this. And I was like, so we had to pay to get in here? And I just was here, you know, and right then, man, like my whole energy, like I just took a long look at him and I was like, this is not gonna end well for you, bro. Like, I didn't say none of this. Like, I kept it all the way 100. I want to say thank you for the donation too, Sister Jordan. I appreciate the donation. You know. I don't be even doing this for money, but I appreciate all the donations. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you like, subscribe, you know, share the video. You know, but once I went through that experience with Polight, man, I never saw him the same. You know, and I kept trying. Like, I came over there a couple more times, you know, and knocked on the door, tried to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? But like every time I came over there, he was on some busy shit. I ain't like, you know, I guess he saw that I wasn't gonna pay the $25 right then and then. Like after that, he didn't have no time for me, you know what I'm saying? But I never went and deleted. Like, you see the video still up there. Like, people that downloaded that video. Like, mind you, the channel we originally uploaded that video to is gone. Like somebody downloaded that video and re-uploaded it to their channel. I don't even know what channel that is if that's on. You know what I'm saying? But all you gotta do is look up Polight and Dawa. You know what I'm saying? In Chicago, you see that video. You know, I shot that video a while ago. But I knew some, like, Polight core, man. You know, like I said, like when you read in the Bible, man, we talking about like Abel and Cain. There's a reason why Cain's sacrifice didn't get accepted, because if you read it carefully, and you know, Abel did. A lot of people don't know, you know, why it didn't get accepted, but it was ultimately because he picked the same vegetables off the ground. God had cursed it down. He picked the same vegetables up and tried to offer the sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? So it was half-hearted. You know what I'm saying? Half-hearted worship. You know what I'm saying? They said God looked upon Abel and his sacrifice. You know, he didn't just look upon the sacrifice. He looked at Abel and his sacrifice. He looked upon Cain and his sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? So he's looking at your core, you know what I'm saying? Not just the work you put in, but he's also looking at your core, you know. And this is why certain people's sacrifice is accepted, certain people's is not. Because if your core ain't intact, if your heart ain't all the way in it, you know what I'm saying, then you gonna run into these types of issues. Now, mind you, Polight a Leo. You know what I'm saying? And just like Dr. Umar, Leo. You talk about polygamy, multiple women, you see community, food, having people come through, hanging out, being a leader, shit like this. Like, I'm all for that. I'm Aquarius, total opposite end. You see what I'm saying? And then like I'm a loner. I'm a fucking what they call it? What they call that word, man? Introvert. Oh damn that. Like I'm not an introvert, but like it's called so Leo, I'm like an introvert. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm not into, you know, having a huge crowd following me and shit like that. Like, you know, I got my little clique I hang out with. Like for the most part I like to be left alone. You know what I'm saying? So but if you want to take that type of route, you know what I'm saying, that Leo route like Umar, Polight, like I say, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. The more, you know, they say Biggie say more money, more problem. You know, you look at the 10 of Wands, you got the dude carrying all this is the fortune, wheel of fortune for the fire sign. You got the dude carrying all the motherfucking wands. Now you stuck with these wands. They just hit Polight with like 5 more felonies. You know, if you don't know what happened, by now you sleeping on a rock. You know, he apparently assaulted a little girl into giving him oral sex, and he also gave her like, mind you, this is alleged. You know, he also allegedly gave her some type of drug, some type of mind-altering substance, lean or something, and basically forced oral sex on her. And they had DNA on the one of his shirt. This is all old by now, you know, so most people know this. And you know, the mother reported it. They hit him with, I think it was like 2 felonies at first, but just in the past 24, maybe 48 hours, they hit him with a whole nother 5 felonies. So up to this point, I believe he has 7 felonies he's facing. You know what I'm saying? I got a screenshot. You probably can't even see this, but I did take a screenshot. But the way, I ain't gonna lie, like the way this picture looked, y'all probably don't see this, but I at least give it a try. Or maybe I can even read it. Let me see. We got L and L, I guess like lewd, kind of something like that, for a child between 12 and 16. He has 2 charges on that. Then he has L and L, I guess lewd, something kind of to a child. 16, who's 16, that's a felony. I can't even see what that says. It says contributing delinquent a minor, that's a misdemeanor. Engaging in child sex, felony. Sexual battery to a child between 12 and 17, that's another felony. You know what I'm saying? So, let me see if I can see that. You see that? It's a rough picture because it came off the screen. Oh man, hold on. Right, let me see. Y'all see that? You can Google this information too. It's all public record at this point. But yeah, they hit him with multiple felonies. And from the moment I met Polight, man, I never thought it was gonna get this wild. Like I knew he was a fraud. But like, am I like even like I've been watching, you know, this whole thing unfold ever since it's happened. You know, he's had several breakdown, like mental breakdown, meltdowns. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the most famous ones when he had that red hat on, sitting up in the car with them weird little sunglasses. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, I never like to see, you know, somebody who, you know, is respect, especially in the black community like that, man. I never want to see somebody like that, and especially somebody who I knew and met, you know, and I had respect for, you know, to go through something like what he's going through. Now, mind you, I think he deserved everything he's going through if he did. You know what I'm saying? More than likely he did. You know what I'm saying? But like at the same time, I don't know. It's just something like the fact that I knew him and we had, you know, what we went through, and then see like, remember this video? This is not a good look. If you ain't seen this video, this really changed the whole way I looked at Polight. You know what I'm saying? This is when he got on the internet and started responding to the charges and stuff like that. Like he literally had a meltdown. Like he came on this video super cocky. Oh, let me see. And then by the end of this shit, he was yelling, screaming, desperate as hell because I got people coming. See, like, I don't understand how somebody can even listen to somebody like that, man. Like, even on my channel, like, you know, the people I listen to, you know what I'm saying? It's very few people in the spiritual community I can even listen to. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like, I listen to a lot of Seti. Like, Seti, because he's like a scholar. Even though it's a lot of shit Seti say that I don't necessarily agree with 100%, it's very a lot that I do agree with. You know what I'm saying? But I don't agree with him a lot. But ultimately, every time I sit down in front of a Seti video, he gonna say some shit that I had no understanding of whatsoever before I went into the video. He gonna break down some shit I ain't never heard before. Every video, never. Mind you, he'll hit you with like 15, 20 different things you didn't know. You be like, God damn, like, he is truly a scholar. When I listen to motherfuckers like Polight a lot of times, or I listen to Dr. Umar, or I listen to you know, a lot of other people in the conscious community, it don't really be like, oh man, it don't be scholarly. It be like this. Yeah, see, he's in there reading the comments. They got more and more depressed throughout the video. You know what I'm saying, bro? At one point, he was like screaming. I can't find it exactly what it is. He's getting pissed. You about to get your ass locked. You got 5 more felonies, nigga. You what the fuck you mean? You doing something great? Well, you gonna be great behind bars. Hold on, what's it? Look at this shit. Not the way you about to lose, nigga. You about to lose. Am I like, you know, go back to the beginning of this video. Look at the video I just showed you. The video I shot. And me looking at this video, I'm like, Joe, this is a whole different nigga from the nigga I met, man. Like, you know, and I disassociated myself with him. You know, literally, you talking 2-3 hours after the video I just showed. You better believe about 3 hours later, I was done with Polight. Back then, like the shit I was on back then is the same shit I'm on today. Like I'm on some real shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like really educating the people. You know what I'm saying? Giving them information that they actually need that's going to actually have a increase on your intelligence, on your IQ level. You know what I'm saying? I could never relate to that type of blogging. You know what I'm saying? When motherfuckers sitting there just talking to you, sharing their type of feelings on shit. You see what I'm saying? It's like, Joe, like, put me on to something I didn't know. Like, if I'm watching a video, you know what I'm saying, for the most part, and like at some point you don't say something that made me have to like literally stop the video and like go to Google and look, what the fuck was that? Pause. Go back, Google it. Oh shit, and get a little bit more insight, and then come back to the video. You know what I'm saying? Listen a little bit more. They say some other shit. Like, oh, I don't know what the fuck that. Pause. Go Google it. Come back. Like that's scholarly type of IQ building intelligence. You know what I'm saying? I never had that type of experience on Polight channel. Like, you know what I'm saying? Most of even when I seen him debating a lot of times with the Hebrew Israelites and stuff like that, like half the shit he was referring to was Dr. Malachi York. You know what I'm saying? Malachi York was a convicted child molester. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, they said at the time he had the biggest child molestation case ever in the history of the United States at the time he did that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they were saying something like over 100 victims. You know what I'm saying? So like, let me see if I find this. Uh, when I want to make sure I read this right. So I'm saying it says this is Malachi York. He's a cancer, mind you, cancer verse nigga. Born June 26th. It says he is a convicted child molester. You see it right at the bottom. He is a convicted child molester. You know what I'm saying? And this is his teaching. So like a lot of the stuff that like Polight used to talk about, I used to hear certain rappers like even Wu-Tang. I heard Nas, a lot of 5% rappers like Sons of Man, Brand Nubian. I've heard them refer to Malachi York a lot of times. Like matter of fact, it was a Nas song. I think it was the one with Nori he did, where he said Malachi York name. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to find this part. Let me see. See this. York was arrested in May 2022 and 2004. He was convicted on federal charges. It's fucking Blair. He's gonna. Oh my God. He was arrested on May 2002 and 2004. He was convicted on federal charges of transporting minors across state lines for purpose of sexual molestation, as well as racketeering and financial reporting violations. I can't read that like that. York's case was reported as the largest prosecution for child molestation ever, directed at a single person in the history of the United States, both in terms of number of victims and number of incidents under the cancer verse. So I'm saying, so like when your teacher is a cancer man who's a child molester, the teachers that I used to hear him spit out a lot of times sounded no different from a lot of stuff I used to hear in the rap. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, that ain't no scholarship type bars you kicking, man. That's like some shit I can hear on a rap album. You know, everything. Like, I used to watch him debate the Hebrew Israelites, and the Hebrew Israelites, like, a lot of times, they would be coming with, you know, scripture, documentation, written word, you know, shit like that. Facts, you know, dates. You know, like, a lot of shit Polight would be saying would be like, it was like watching a battle rapper who stopped battling and started, like, debating spiritual niggas on the street. You know what I'm saying? And me and him had almost fell into that type of dynamic when we had first met. And I was like, man, hold on, I ain't about to do this with you, Joe. I got, at the time, I had a lot of respect for him. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't even want to find myself in a back and forth with him. That's why I never even put this information out. I never said a word, you know, about this until, like, even when he got the first two felonies, I was like, man, Joe, like, this did not have to go this way. You know, I really wish he had just listened to what I was trying to tell him. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I was watching Zion Lex. This is a great channel. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't hip to this channel, it's a great channel. Zion Lex. I was watching him. He was the one that actually inspired this video because he was the one that, where I got this information from that they just gave him 5 more felonies. I was in the middle of watching that video and he said something real, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm giving you the reference. You can go on his channel and watch it. He just put it out like maybe like 2-3 hours ago. He said some real shit. He was like, Joe, like, you need to take a stand on where you at with Polight. You know what I'm saying? And then like we at a crossroads as far as like not just Polight, but the whole conscious community as a whole, and like the people that's like him and the people that like that is fraud. You know what I'm saying? But like you kind of had that gray area, like you know what I'm saying? Like I knew Polight, I met him, I wanted to help him. Like you know, you run into these people and like you be like, man, hold on, man, like you know, is he legit? You know. And I've had situations where, like, even the situation with just bad business. You know what I'm saying? Like, bad business is one thing. That's not necessarily mean you a fraud. And then, like, it's a lot of shit. Like, I was in a lot of multi-level marketing shit back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, I wasn't trying to fraud or scam people, but it was just like at the time what I was learning. You know what I'm saying? It just played out in many scenarios as bad business. And then, like, not necessarily that my objective was to scam people. And at the same time, like, I've seen multi-level marketing type businesses that weren't necessarily scams. It was just like you needed to basically like they needed bodies to fill, you know, like it's like a pyramid. You know what I'm saying? You need people who either get it or don't, and like you either step in, put the money in, and build the pyramid, or you don't. It's not necessarily like it wasn't like a scam in the aspect of, you know, you trying to rip people off and take their money. It was like no, like it was a scam because you couldn't convince other people to see it the way you saw it. You know what I'm saying? So like that's one thing. What we talk about here with Polight ain't like multi-level marketing or like the shit he was trying to do back then. We talking about literally like child molestation and like we talking about 5 felonies. You know what I'm saying? Assault on a child and giving them intoxicated, you know, things that intoxicate them and lewd molestation to a child and 2 counts of that and lewd conduct to a child and contributing to juvenile delinquent behavior and all that type. I'm like, man, hold on, bro. Like, no, that's a scam. That's a scam. You know what I'm saying? And like, I had to take a stand on that. And then like, you know what, man? You know, the part where I'm at in my life, you know, the whole conscious community don't even sit on me to like it might have never had like I never really been, you know, somebody who was gung ho for the conscious community. Like even when I was fucking with .Y at the time, like I never really got on camera and started kicking a lot of the shit that they was kicking. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to support it. I wanted to, you know, provide the media, provide the website, provide the promotion and stuff like this. But I never really saw myself as like one of those radical ass black, conscious community like Sinetta, Brother Panic, who else? Bobby Hemmett, even Phil Valentine. I had a lot of respect for Phil Valentine. You know what I'm saying? Like he kind of on a different level too. You know what I'm saying? But even still, I still don't. I'm not trying to put them shoes on. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't my shoe. You know what I'm saying? Because they recently just had a Loki. Like you watch Loki. I gotta end this video soon. But, like you watch Loki. Like you know, the TV show Loki on Disney Plus. Like I think it was like episode 5 or something like that. Like they had banned him to a planet. Like where like it was like a closet. Like if you fuck up in the multiverse, they basically push you in like the bottom of the multiverse, which is like a closet space. You know what I'm saying? Where it was like okay, like you clean up your room and you gotta hurry up and rush it. You just grab everything and just throw it in the closet. You know what I'm saying? Like that's basically what this was. It was like okay, if you end up here, you stuck. Like this is like the end of the road. You know what I'm saying? And like how it happened was everybody on that planet was Loki. You know what I'm saying? It was from a different timeline. And they was all in there arguing with each other and shit like that, and all trying to backstab and snake each other. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't no like they call honor amongst thieves type shit. And then like literally every conspiracy had a whole nother conspiracy against that conspiracy, which had a whole nother conspiracy on that. So like literally everybody was betraying everybody. So saying so like when you see an incident like this happen with Polight, you see how similar similar effect happened. That Sinetta is being attacked now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who supported Polight is being attacked now. And like, you know what I'm saying? Shit like this. And they're like with the same shit as Zion Lex saying, like, you gotta take a stance on right now, with this shit going on, you gotta take a stance on quote unquote the conscious community. Even the Moors, man, it's a difference like I was recently studying the Moors. It's between the Moors and the Mobes. You can look this up, the Mobes, M-O-A-B. Not my Mobe is the last video I just put out, was talking about Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie. They were actually in Mobe. I believe it was Wyoming, something like that, or New Mexico. That ain't the Mobe I'm talking about. Maybe a lesbian couple got killed in Mobe, just like the same week that shit happened. You know but the Mobe I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, is USAR. I think it is. You can look this up. USAR. So it's like different from the Moors. So it's like you guys heard Moors like what's that lady name? Gail Bay, Sharon Gail Bay. That's a rabbit hole. You don't go to a rabbit hole. Go look at Sharon Gail Bay and what she did. So I'm saying, and she about to go to jail. You know what I'm saying, for a very long time. You know what I'm saying, and the Moors go up in court, start talking all that sovereign citizen type shit, and the judge be looking at him like I ain't trying to hear none of that shit. You going to jail just like your fucking husband just went to jail for 6 years. You here kicking the same shit your husband just taking. We about to give your ass the same shit. You know what I'm saying? So USAR is different from Black Hebrew Israelites. And like the more I started to go down that lane, I started to see, okay, it's a difference between Moors and USAR. There's a difference between like the real conscious community and, you know what I'm saying, the people that actually are putting in real work for a bigger picture for Black people as a whole. You know what I'm saying? From everything I've seen from like Sinetta channel, the way that they present their, a lot of this stuff is more entertainment than actual building communities. You know what I'm saying? And Polight fit right into that when I met him. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, I'm somebody who work with cameras. I'm somebody who work with media. So for the most part, I've never wanted to be an online personality. Like y'all know, I'm not necessarily a consistent blogger like that. You know, I got a family. I put out information that's important that holds. Like a lot of times, the shit I put out got something to do with me, or something I'm going through at the time, or something I'm struggling with, something I'm trying to get past. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm documenting this really like a diary for myself. So I've never put myself out there like I'm this type of big leader in the Black community trying to get a whole bunch of people to follow me and shit like that. Like, nah, I ain't never. I'm a crack. I ain't gonna do that shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I let the conscious community prove to me something that I thought all along, which I never wanted to speak on. They're like, no, this whole shit is fucking fraudulent, man. There is no Black community. So there is no, like, you look at what's going on, what's that dude named Young Pharaoh? You can go on Young Pharaoh channel. So what's going on with him and his woman. You know what I'm saying? See the same thing. You look at SETI, you follow SETI page. So SETI just recently put out some information. You know what I'm saying? And then not even a week later, people was attacking him for that information, and they was literally taking the information and doing whatever the fuck they wanted to do with it. Mind you, I was kind of guilty of the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm not here to like I saw the videos of like people literally like shitting on SETI. Like, so saying they're like, I don't want to do no shit like that. Like, there's a difference between like taking bits and parts of information and correcting it. It's another thing to actually shit on Sick. Like, so like, you got the type of people out here that, like, you put the information out, nigga come along and it's totally shit on a whole nother nigga in the actual community. Like I said, you look at, like, even politics got certain amount of respect, honor amongst these, and like everybody ain't Donald Trump trying to literally make everything personal and like attack motherfuckers' whole character as a whole. It's like, Joe, at least you can attack the information. You can even attack the platform. You see what I'm saying? You can even attack the motherfucking religion. But like, you ain't gotta personally attack the next person, you see what I'm saying, over because you disagree with the information. You see what I'm saying? In a situation like this with Polight, we're talking about child molestation, you got 7 charges facing you. It's like, nah, I had to take a stand on that, like, and totally disconnect from that whole fucking energy at this point. You see what I'm saying? I don't have no affiliation with any of that, man. The House of Consciousness, mind you, I know I'm in that algorithm. So it's like, you might see these personalities we're talking about, Brother Panic, Polight, you know what I'm saying? All these niggas, man, you know, say, or you might see these niggas in the same algorithm that I'm in. Dolo the Pilot Man, you know what I'm saying? Who else? Like, you got astrologer, Peace Dealer, what's her name? The Quietest Revolution, that girl, you know what I'm saying? You got all these people on the internet, you know what I'm saying, who got their own way of putting out all this information and shit like this, but like, you know what I'm saying, where I'm at is in a totally different space. You know what I'm saying? It's a totally different space. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, not that I'm saying that, you know, these people are actual frauds per se. I'm saying that Polight is a fraud. You know what I'm saying? And like that whole area of like consciousness, community, shit like this, like at this point right now, I'm starting to look at all that shit like Babylon. You know what I'm saying? Like you know the story of Nimrod, like, you know, Uruk, ancient Mesopotamia. You see from Isis, Ishtar, Tammuz, Queen of Heaven, from Babylon, Assyrian god, you know what I'm saying, Assyrian shit like this, like, you start to see, like, man, hold on, man, like, people just don't know what that is, and, like, why so much information is mixed up, and, like, you get, you know, similar stories and stuff like this, and because when we talk about Tower of Babel, everybody telling the same story, but with different language. Like I said, God didn't change the story, he just changed the language. When we say language, that means people's ability to agree, you know what I'm saying, on his, like, language. If I say, okay, this is blue, and you say it's sky blue, you got a whole different language from me. Like, this is what people do. They take the information, they do whatever the fuck they want to do. This is what Babylon is, what Nimrod is. If I say, you know, this Hocus Pocus is a kids movie, and you come along and say, well, no, it's about witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, well, everybody got their own language. You know what I'm saying? So because we can agree on the language, and because we can create a platform, you know what I'm saying, that's in like a democracy state like the United States, you know what I'm saying, or like, you know, we call it left wing, right wing policies, you know what I'm saying, two wings on the same bird. So the conscious community don't work like that. So I'm saying conscious community is more like a leopard. You know what I'm saying? And like, even if you read in the Bible, they describe these things as a leopard, like the Cushites, stuff like this is leopards. You know what I'm saying? And like it's the difference between a leopard and a Leo. And like, actually, this a lot of people don't notice, man. Like the actual original where Leo came from is leopard. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't originally a lion. It was a leopard. It eventually became a lion. I got a Bible scripture I can show you that. So I'm saying, but the original reference for Leo was not a lion. It was a leopard. That's why leopard is spelled leopard, leopard. And leopards was like basically like Cushite, and it was like niggas. Like it was basically like, now if you read the Bible, I'm saying, or even if you go do the research on it, if you have a dream of a leopard, like so it's like a leopard was like, it was kind of like Black Panther. Like if you watch Black Panther, a lot of the reference, like these original Leo references. You talking like panthers and leopards before it became a lion. You see what I'm saying? It was like the motherfucker who wanted to go and do their own thing. Like you see what I'm saying? And then like you people who understood the norm. You know what I'm saying? These are like Cushites. Like this is where Nimrod was from. He's from, like his father was Cush. You know what I'm saying? Or like even talking about serpents and Leos, kind of not too distant from each other. You see what I'm saying? Not necessarily Leo, but leopards. Like a Leo in its lower nature. Like you see what I'm saying? Like you got like higher self Leos, which is like a lion, but then you got like the lower self Leos, which is like a leopard. And like these niggas that think they slick, like Polight, like they say in the Bible, like Jeremiah 17:9, the heart is deceitful above all things. Like you lie to yourself. You got a parasite, second snake that took over the first snake. Man, this is the original serpent mouth. You got a whole nother serpent came in and took over that mouth, and now that mouth is soft. You know what I'm saying? So like this is leopard shit, like lower self Leo shit. Where like um, I tell you, hey, you know, cheetahs have spots. And you like, oh, well, I know a cheetah ain't got no spots. This is like leopard shit. You run into this type of conversation a lot of times with Leo. You're like, zebras got stripes. They be like, shit, I haven't seen zebras with hell in no stripes. You're like, okay. When you get two people that agree on one thing, and you get that third person coming along, like, nah, like that's like, it's like, nah, we gonna do it this way. Like you see, Trump got Leo Moon. Like so, Trump got Leo Moon. Like Leo Moon is like something like, oh my god, like sometimes like Leo Moon, like you run a Leo Moon, you kind of see the leopard more so than the lion. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? Like Trump got Leo Moon. Like and you see like the way he don't know how to turn that shit off sometimes. Like he a Gemini, so I'm saying, but he be like, all Geminis don't act like that. Why do he act like that? Because that nigga got Leo Moon. Like I used to love the other shit in his placement that's fucked up as well. But like, if you ever met somebody who got Leo Moon, like, and they got and they, and they in a lower vibration, you see exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. So like they're not even argue. Like they will sit there and argue with you, but they won't even see it as an argument. They just go, oh, we just debating, we just talking, having a drink, it's like I'm Aquarius. I don't relate to that shit at all. Like I like sharing information instead of like competing information. You see what I'm saying? So Leo in his leopard form is like a Cushite from like Nimrod, and you go to ancient Babylon. It's like a motherfucker who want to take the information and do whatever the fuck they want to do with it, type shit. You see what I'm saying? And like, so they can make a name for themselves. Like they say in Nimrod, you want to make a name for yourself. So this is like leopard. And mind you, like if you look up the word leopard in Hebrew, it's actually Narmer. I got this from Zion Lex. Zion Lex is a great channel, so he taught me a lot. You know what I'm saying? But leopard is actually Narmer in Hebrew. Narmer is the first pharaoh of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? So the Hebrews referring to leopards as Nimrod / Cushites, which is like, you know what I'm saying, like slick ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? Double-minded niggas, shit like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nigga that like you be sitting next to your wife and he'll say something wildly inappropriate right there in front of you and your wife. Like, you know what I'm saying? You be like, hold on, man, I'm sitting right here with my wife. You're like, they gonna try to Donald Trump you right there in front of your wife, in front of your kids, in front of all this. Like, they don't give a fuck. Like, they'll look at you like they bigger than you right in front of your kids. You see what I'm saying? So like, you gotta be aware. This is leopard energy. Like, you see what I'm saying? With like a Leo that don't turn that shit off. You know what I'm talking about if you've seen it. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I got with Polight. And they're like, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, he a Leo, just like Dr. Umar a Leo. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't a lion, Joe. He like a leopard. You know what I'm saying? And like we in them times now, you gotta separate that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to put this video out there. So I know, man, I know Polight. You know, I knew him. You know what I'm saying? But I never wanted to see him go down this road. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. And I've always been a reference for trying to just do the best, the absolute best that you can, man, even in the worst possible scenarios. And then like, I don't have a bet. Like, I got a lot of issues, man. Like, I got a hella issues. You know what I'm saying? But I still try to at least wholeheartedly do the best I can. You know what I'm saying? In giving y'all the facts and like and not afraid to hold myself accountable. You know what I'm saying? And at least speak the truth. You know what I'm saying? And like the struggles that I had getting to where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? And like, if you can't, like, these are the type of leaders you wanna gravitate to. Not even saying me. I'm just saying like for example, I was talking about Timothy Sykes, who was a brilliant mentor of mine. You know what I'm saying? People like that. And then like the reason I follow him is because he was not afraid to hold himself accountable. He was not afraid to show his mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And I've never seen Polight or Dr. Umar. You know what I mean? I ain't even calling out Dr. Umar. I got a lot of respect for Dr. Umar as well. You know what I'm saying? But not just them, but it's a lot of people in the whole country, Sinetta. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people in the whole country community can't hold themselves accountable. I was just watching Tasha K channel. Like Tasha K, it was talking about some shit with the FBI, some shit like that. And she came out and cussed out some lawyer on the internet, and then she had to turn around and apologize for that shit. And she didn't even want to take accountability, full accountability. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never understood that shit. You know what I'm saying? But we in a time now where like hella people being humbled and are being forced to take accountability for shit that they should have took accountability for a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, I've been through the same thing behind the scenes just recently. You know what I'm saying? I'm being confronted with a lot of past things. Well, I'm kind of coming out of it now, but like just recently, like last month, the month before, I was going through this, especially like during cancer season, like this year. So I was going through hella shit that I had to like go and face my demons. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like my demons was nowhere near as bad as this nigga demons was. God damn. You know what I'm saying? I could never, nigga, please. So I'm saying, so yeah, a lot of people, you know, not just in the conscious community, but worldwide, are being held accountable to what the fuck they're going through right now. You know what I'm saying? And this is one of the best ways to determine people's leadership skills is how good. Like you're dealing with a lot of online personalities, people be sitting there just talking. You don't know what the fuck going on. Like you don't know what the fuck going on in my real life. You know what I'm saying? So like you don't know how I'm gonna respond under pressure, like real pressure, like a real type situation. You don't know how the fuck I'm gonna respond on shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So like in these type of situations, especially now, you gotta watch how people go through that when people taking L's right now, how they dealing with it. Nicki Minaj, another them taking hella L's right now, like with her husband. Shit she going through with her husband. Like he about to go to jail possibly. He took a plea deal recently, some shit like that. Then she jumped on the internet talking about she not vaccinated and shit like this. And like, so saying like the way she handled accountability. So I'm saying you starting to see more and more like people who can't handle accountability are like just slowly falling off. You know what I'm saying? And like your ability to hold yourself accountable and to kind of like laugh at yourself. Like Evander Holyfield got knocked out the other night. A lot of people didn't even know that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because after the fight, he got up there and held his. He was like, "Hey man, you know, they stopped it. It wasn't shit I could do. I tried my best. The guy was young. It is what it is." Nobody, you didn't see no viral videos coming out of him. Like they tried to, they tried to make a fool of him, but like he owned it. He was like, "Hey, what the fuck? It's what it is." Like even Donald Trump got on there and said this. He's like, "Hey, you know, I've known Evander for years. It's what it is. You jump in the ring, sometimes you're gonna get knocked out." You know what I'm saying? He got knocked out. He owned it. He was like, "Hey, I got knocked out." Nobody gives a shit. You know what I'm saying? People try to make fun. It's like, he don't even give a shit. Like, how's that even my channel? People come on here all the time and leave all type of comments talking shit about me. Like, man, I don't give a fuck, bro. I know how I look, nigga. I know how I sound, nigga. I don't give a shit, nigga. You can't troll a motherfucker who don't give. It's like trying to troll Eminem at the end of the 8 Mile shit. Like how the fuck you gonna troll Eminem? Like the nigga don't even give a fuck what you talking about. You see what I'm saying? And like that's how you gotta be in these times, yo. You gotta be like bulletproof, damn it, man. Because like everybody's trying to expose everybody. You see what I'm saying? So how the fuck you gonna expose somebody who expose themselves? Just like Dave Chappelle. Fucking what's her name? Azalea Banks jumped up. Is it Iggy Azalea, the white girl? I think Gemini shit. But Azalea Banks, shout out to Jay Can. He gave me this pal. He was like, Azalea Banks jumped on the internet with somebody, "Yo, Dave Chappelle, she cheated on his wife with me." So saying, what the fuck did he do? He jumped right. He was like, "Oh yeah, I cheated, I did. She talked too much." You know what I'm saying? Now what you gonna say? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, okay, I fucked up. Yeah, I fucked up. Sue me. You know, that's how you kind of got to be. You know, kind of. You know, be a little more humble. You know, obviously, but you got to be on point with your flaws in these times, man. You got to wear that shit like a badge of honor, damn it. Whatever it is you're going through. You know what I'm saying? It's, you go watch. I had a video a while back called Aquarius Hero. Hero talking about this, and they're like even a lot of the movies they put out now, where the character got hella issues. The character be a fucking addict, a drug, motherfucking like you look at Shane Z, like the shit, like I just saw Shane Z, like him and his father was at odds, and like he had all type of fucking mental trauma and shit like he was going through with his family. You know, he had hella unresolved issues. You know, you look at Scarlett Johansson movie, hella issues, hella family issues, hella PTSD, hella anxiety. You know what I'm saying? They don't even, they just own this shit. You look at, you know, all of the superhero movies coming out more and more, especially the Marvel movies, they have issues. You know what I'm saying? And like that's one of the issues. Like DC and you know Warner Bros. Movies can't get on because like they don't know how to get the characters to own the issue. They all trying to put their best foot forward and have this image. That shit don't work no more in this age. So I'm saying, so and like Polight is the poster child of this right now. So I'm saying, especially with the charges he faces, man, it's wild. So I'm saying, so you know, it's a good time to fight them demons. You know what I'm saying? Be honest with your demons. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, read the Bible. Excellent. Even if you don't believe in God, you know what I'm saying? Just in these times, just look at it like it's science fiction. Even if you don't necessarily even have to believe in God, but just read the Bible and apply it at least like it's science fiction. And you're going to see better results regardless. You know what I'm saying? So on that note, I got to get out of here. I got to pick up my kids. You know what I'm saying? I got other shit to do. So I can talk to y'all all day. But I appreciate y'all watching. I definitely appreciate the donations. You know what I'm saying? I did not jump on here expecting to make no donations. But it always surprises me when people give me donations because I just it's just weird to me because I never thought I'd see myself. I never thought anybody would actually be more interested in me to that point. But I really appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? On that note, you know what time it is. It is time for me to say you.